My God, have we spent more time talking about Ben Simmons over the course of the last couple of weeks, months, years, than maybe he is worthy of.
It was stale. It just got fun.
Ben Simmons shows up in Philadelphia last night, and according to Adrian Wojnarowski's report, Elton Brand didn't even know he was there.
Yeah.
So clearly the communication has been great between the 76ers and Ben Simmons. He's going to show up over the weekend. You had reports of games in Philly where they were chanting F Ben Simmons. I think they were doing it again last night. And I think it became a reality to Ben Simmons and his agency that they're going to be losing a lot of money hand over fist by sitting out. Once push came to shove and you were going to start losing game checks as well as losing part of, he had this thing where he had big payments split into two. I think it was two $8 million payments, and they had withheld one of those $8 million payments already. And so he wasn't getting that. Of course, they say, hey, we want to get that money. The 76ers say, you're not getting that money. Are you out of your mind? You're not even around. So he shows back up in Philadelphia. And Kevin, oh my goodness, is this amazing? We have this morning, I pulled up the Philadelphia Inquirer because I wanted to know what was going on in Philly. What are they saying about this? Ben Simmons showing up last night. And the columnist is Marcus Hayes. And this is when you know it's going to be amazing, Kevin, is when you read like the little sub-headline. It said, if he had a tail, it would be curled tightly between his legs. I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. Oh, this is going to be good. Listen to this. It turns out the only thing Ben Simmons is more scared of than shooting is losing money. Oh, that is the first line. Oh, this guy kills him. Wow. If he had a tail, it would be curled tightly between his legs. Reports say he's back in town, if only for a little while, as his fines exceeded $1 million. One league source hinted at the NBA, faced with the dire precedent, might have gotten involved. Clutch my butt. Simmons, who turned down a dunk in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, subsequently refused to report to work 3 months later. He and his agent, LeBron James mouthpiece Rich Paul, who runs Powerful Clutch Sports, tried to force the Sixers to trade him, and to do so with his lowest worth, the lowest it could possibly be. He made Carson Wentz look like a principled hero.
Oh, my God.
Hey, listen to this one. Rather than face the team he betrayed and the fan base he estranged, he told the Sixers they had to trade him.
That's a banger of a line.
He didn't care how bad the deal was. He just wanted out. And so it says that part hasn't changed. He'll probably never play another game in a Sixers uniform. He lacks that sort of courage. He lacks that sort of character. However, he's back in Philly, so he won't be fined $360,000 a game anymore. This isn't a change of heart. It's a realization that Sixers president DARYL Morey is nobody's punk. This article is unbelievable.
That's something. I mean, I'll tell you what, that last line there is true. The Sixers and Morey called the Clutch Sports bluff of him, sitting out into the season and losing millions and millions and millions of dollars. It was a bluff, and also once those checks stop coming, that's when that realization sets in. Like, maybe I'll play in front of some fans who absolutely hate me right now. Because you know what, Chris? All it might take is a couple of games with 20 points, 13 assists, 10 rebounds, some great defensive plays, and then all of a sudden, Wells Fargo Center, Sixers fans are going crazy. Championship, we're winning all. Giannis coming for you. You have nothing on us. We're coming. Now, Sixers fans are going to go crazy.
He's not going to play.
Or maybe they're just going to boo him no matter what he does.
I think he's not going to play.
You think he's just not going to play?
Yeah, I think he's there so he gets is
So,
money.
so you don't see my fantasy happening
No.
of Sixers fans falling back in love with
Absolutely
him? No,
not.
you don't see that happening? Here's
would-
the thing, because even last season, half of Sixers fans wanted him gone.
All right,
Half
let
of
me-
them loved him.
let
It was
me,
it was split.
All right, let me reassess. Hold on, because obviously we're doing this on the fly, this conversation. All right, I've reassessed. I give that a 0% chance of happening, Kevin.
Nothing. Zero.
No.
How about a large chunk of Sixers fans?
Absolutely
Give me-
not.
No?
None.
You think they are just done with him?
Done.
Even if he comes back and has some great
They're
games.
chanting F Ben Simmons. His jerseys are 50% off at stores.
Yeah. Yep.
They're done. But now it does mention in that particular article that I cited, it says maybe waves of maturity engulf him, and he decides to earn the money he's already been paid. The Sixers gave him 25% of his 2021 salary in July, or $8.25 million. That was the number I referenced earlier, but held the 25% due on October 1st in escrow as to assess him the fines he deserves. So that's what was taking place here. Instead of him getting that $8.25 million, they put that into escrow, and then the fines were just going to come out of that. And so you quite literally did not get the money from your contract, and that money is being held and is just lowering in value every single day that you're not a part of the team, that you are not participating in games. And to watch $8.5 or $8.25 million with your name next to it get reduced every single day, that became a reality. One of the things that is fascinating, though, is in this article, it mentions the NBA getting involved. And I do wonder, I think there's a lot of Clutch tried to push around to get their way, and then they realized they're not going to get their way, and he had to go crawling back to Philadelphia, and that DARYL Morey stood his ground, and he's not going to give him up for some crap deal. And so they had to just figure it out. And next thing you know, Ben Simmons shows up unannounced last night. I do wonder about the whole NBA getting involved. I think it's possible. We had talked about this a couple of months ago. It's not what you want if you're the NBA. Guys with 3 and 4 years left on their contract just saying, I'm not playing for that team anymore. Trade me. And I'm sure with the NBA and the 75th anniversary, and they're trying to get everybody excited about this upcoming season, it's got to be intensely annoying for this to be such a massive story all the time. I mean, look, we're going to start off a podcast about the NBA talking about 3 major stars, 2 of which it's self-inflicted, I mean, their controversies are self-inflicted. Kyrie Irving could go and get the shot tomorrow, and that's not a story anymore. Ben Simmons could have showed up at Sixers training camp, played a good soldier, and said, find a trade for me. Let's get on the same page here, right? Because if you're DARYL, you've got to be saying, look, bro, I can't trade you for my job is to fix the Sixers and to make the Sixers the best team I can. You guys have put me in a position where I can't get proper return for you. And I'm not going to be able to get proper return for you with you doing it this way. And so the best move is to come back, be a good soldier, and, maybe we can find a deal. You can be happy. I can be happy. But what I'm not going to do is just move you for whatever because that's what you want. Because my loyalty is not to you, the individual player. My loyalty is to this team. And the deals aren't there right now because of the playoffs and then the offseason, which has driven your stock so abysmally low that I can't find a good deal.
100%, Chris. I mean, it's exactly that on a human level. In many ways, a guy wants to go. You understand,
Yeah.
If he wants
It
to
happens
go,
all the time.
Happens any job, no matter if you're an NBA player or office worker, whatever it is, people want to go. But ultimately, DARYL Morey doesn't want to go. And if he makes a bad deal, he will go in 3, 4, 5 years. So will all the people that work underneath him. And so the entire organization will all be out of jobs, and their families will be in positions where they don't know what's coming next.
Let me tell you who I thought about.
He needs to make the best decision for the Sixers. And ultimately, this could end up being the best for Ben Simmons, too.
Let me tell you who I thought about last night, because in so many years covering the league, we have seen so many different times that when push comes to shove or something like this happens, that owners can get involved and then they just do what they want to do. The player or the agent goes straight to the owner. And I think the Sixers owners and Josh Harris, they deserve some credit in this because they've stood by DARYL. Because in many situations, we just covered a story 2 weeks ago that was so, you would think it's rare, but it's not that rare, where Russell Westbrook heard about the other deal that was going to happen with the Kings, and he went straight to Ted Leonsis and said, get me to L.A. Next thing you know, Tommy Shepard's trading Russell Westbrook to Los Angeles. Yeah. I saw it here 15 years ago. Pau Gasol, who just retired, went to Michael Heisley, the owner of the Grizzlies, and said, trade me. Find me a trade. I've tried to be a good soldier here. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to be elsewhere. And Michael Heisley made that happen and got him to the Los Angeles Lakers. It happens all the time. Tillman Fertitta will never know, if it was why some of the deals that have happened in Houston over the course of the past couple of years have taken place, and there are many that have opined that he got involved. There's tons of owners that have gotten involved in this situation and just said enough with it. And this is one of those where the owner of the Sixers really could have gotten involved, and instead he's clearly standing by DARYL in this situation. And I praise him for that, because there have been an awful lot of times, and especially with these billionaire owners, that many times they're huge fans of the league and they're fans of these players, and they want to do right by guys. And so they decide, hey, let's just do right by this guy. And then they tell their GM whatever to do. Yeah. Because they want people to like them, Yeah,
exactly. And in this case, they dug their heels down and didn't move, didn't fall for the bluff. And now we wait and we find out if Simmons is going to play in games, how Sixers fans are going to react, how this develops, if Ben Simmons looks better offensively.
How Sixers fans are going to this guy is going to get booed.
We know
so
how they're going
bad.
Yeah, I know. We know how they're going to initially react. It's going to be booing from Philly fans like we've never seen before. Santa Claus never got anything like Ben Simmons is about to get. We're at first it'll be like that. How will it be week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5? We'll see if things change a little bit there. I don't think so. There's a slim chance. There's a slim chance some relationships get back together. I don't think it'll happen. I expect the trade to happen December, January, like I've been saying for months now. We've been talking about this for months, Chris. December, January, February is the time when a trade is most likely to happen. That's when half the league can become available to be dealt. That's when DARYL Morey and the Sixers are going to have the most leverage possible to get the best deal possible.
Well, the other thing is,
but before then, we'll see how things develop. We'll see.
Does he pull a Harden and just play like crap on purpose?
Just constantly just shoot 3 after 3 after 3. Like he'll do nothing but shoot now, Chris.
Yeah, and then they just bench him. So now, you know what I'm saying? He's getting his money. And so when everybody says, oh, they won this one, I'm not so sure they won this.
I don't see that happening. I don't.
You don't?
I don't see him tanking. No. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't see him tanking.
I don't know. I mean, we just saw it.
What if let me propose this. This is like a middle ground here. I'm saying he won't tank. You're saying what if he does? What if it's somewhere in the middle, and like he's taking a lot more jumpers, trying to show what he can do, but it's just not working because he shoots with the wrong hand, and he shoots a low percentage on all jump shots, mid range. It's hurting the Sixers offense, and he's working through it. trying to do what he showed in the highlight reel videos that his trainer always posts every offseason. It just hurts, though. It makes him worse than he was before offensively. Maybe that's what happens, where in his head, he thinks he's doing what's best, but in reality, it ends up hurting the team. What if that plummeted his value even further, because teams are like, we don't want this version of Ben Simmons. We want the version of Ben Simmons who never shot at all.
Yeah.
That's always possible, Chris. We don't know how this is going to turn out.
My guess is that he just doesn't even play.
Just doesn't play.
That's my guess, yes.
I don't know. It seems
my guess
like
is because
it seems like we're heading towards him playing, though.
Because if he's there, then he's not losing his money. I mean, if we are to believe what he said, which was basically all this is beyond repair. This has been tried to be repaired all summer.
Yeah.
And now I understand that I don't think he's showing up for any other reason. I don't think he's had a change of heart about that. I think he's had a realization, is this worth millions of dollars to me? And the answer is, I mean, not being there. And if the answer is, okay, all I got to do is be there, and at least I'm not going to lose millions of dollars, but I'll eventually still get my way and not be a part of this anymore, then I'll show up. How bizarre was that story that he just showed up with nobody knowing, though?
Yeah.
I mean, what? That should tell you all you need to know about the relationship.
Yeah. Yep.
He's outside.
And even like in the Woj report, he wrote, it's currently unclear whether Simmons' intentions are to merely report to the team or truly rejoin it. Woj, who knows everything,
yes,
doesn't know.
He doesn't.